University of Technology, though there are only 4 universities of technology, I mean federal universities of technology. She said, no, that they want to be the best university in Nigeria and in Africa. I said, oh, that's why you're not. I think you're on the way. You're on the way. I hope there will be time for us to explore this beautiful and serene campus. You have a beautiful campus here. The concern that women are greatly underrepresented in physics in most countries was raised at the 1999 IUPAC General Assembly. Sorry, I have to pick my phone. Yeah, the concern that women are greatly underrepresented in physics in most countries was raised at the 1999 IUPAC General Assembly. Because of this imbalance, many bright young people do not receive the opportunity to learn physics and to prepare themselves for a physics career, while others are discouraged from doing so. Well, we can say women are grossly represented in many courses in science and technology. But when it comes to physics and the engineering fields, you find that the gender gap is so wide. And physics suffers most of it. Women are sparsely recognized in physics. Because of this imbalance, I'm thinking that since progress in science fields require the inventions and the innovations of young, talented people, both male and female, the participants of the General Assembly passed a resolution to form a working group on women in physics, WIG. The WIG has been working for about 13 years. The main tasks were, 1, to work with physicists in IUPAC member countries. By the way, the meaning of IUPAC is the International Union of Pure and Applied Physics. So the main task is, 1, to work with physicists in IUPAC member countries to gather information about women in physics, 2, to analyze and report the data, and then 3, to identify barriers to entering into the field and difficulties in maintaining and advancing careers for women in physics, and to recommend ways to improve the situation. In order to achieve this, WIG has organized 4 international conferences on women in physics. The first was in Paris, France, 2002. The second in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 2005. The third was in Seoul, South Korea, 2008. And the fourth one was in Stellenbosch, South Africa, 2011. The focus of the national conference is, 1, to network all women in physics in Nigeria and increase the visibility of female physicists. 2, to maintain a database of women researchers in physics in Nigeria. 3, to allow students and young researchers to find female advisors, mentors, and role models in their field, and to allow female physicists at all career stages to exchange information, experiences, and establish contacts with other female physicists worldwide. And finally, to identify gender barriers in the career path of women in physics and to work towards removing such barrier. At this point, I want to congratulate Covenant University for launching our Women in Science and Technology group. This is a correct step in the right direction. I know this group will provide solutions to bridging the gender gap in science and technology. We are grateful to the authority and management of Covenant University for hosting this conference. And I want to thank the trio of Drs. M.L. Akinyemi, O.P. Farowika, and M.R. Sikalu for putting together this meeting. It's not too easy organizing a conference, but they have worked tirelessly to put this conference together. We know you have worked behind the scene, and we are grateful for all your efforts in ensuring we have a great conference. We thank all those who have supported us in cash and in kind. And for all our participants, we are grateful to you for coming, because if we organize a conference and you didn't show up, then we wouldn't really have a conference. I do hope this conference will inspire us to explore further measures of improving the situation of women in sciences, and in particular in physics in Nigeria. I wish you a successful conference and a pleasant stay in Otta. Thank you for coming, and God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Our National Coordinator, Women in Physics. The next item on our program is launching of Women in Science and Technology. If we look at our program in our hands, we have two things there. Second National Conference of Women in Physics and launching of Women in Science and Technology. We thank the Almighty God that this one is taking place right here in Covenant University. If I'm not mistaken, the second National Conference of Women in Physics takes place at FUTA on February 21st, 2011. And I heard our National Coordinator saying right now that Covenant University is the best private university. Yes, I agree. You see some of our students, especially the final year students, when they were writing their projects, they are non-science students, they have what is called questionnaire. And the options for the questionnaire, you will see A, they write agree, B, disagree, C, strongly agree, and D, strongly disagree. I believe I want to join my national coordinator to choose the third option. That is option C, which is strongly agree that Covenant University is the best private university. I thought you put your hands together for that. Thank you. Now, the launching of Women in Science and Technology, we shall be inviting our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Abiodi, our Deputy Vice Chancellor admin, to help us to launch the Women in Science and Technology. Today is a remarkable day because the launch is taking place in the best private university. Put your hands together for that. I thought you were going to be excited and thoughtful that is taking place here. Thank you. I would like to invite our Deputy Vice Chancellor, admin, Professor Dr. Abiodi, to help us in the launching of Women in Science and Technology. Our Deputy Vice Chancellor, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. I want to observe that very soon Covenant University, as I said earlier, is going to be 1 of 10 in 10. On that note, by the special grace of God, we hereby launch the Women in Science and Technology Covenant University chapter, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Chama.
Thank you. Our next program is top 1. That is on our program. The speaker for our top 1 is Professor Charity Okujagu from Unipos. But before I invite our professor, I would like to say 1 or 2 things about her. She is a woman with a gifted mind and of high morals, charity, and she has no problems working with both men and women. Professor Charity Okujagu has contributed so much to the body of knowledge in her fields of study through teaching and supervision of undergraduates, master's and doctorate degree on solar energy materials, energy conversion process, environmental science, atmospheric physics, biomaterial for energy application to create sustainable environment, solar radiation physics, nanotechnology, climate change, global warming, heat isla, and so on. She has also developed thin film coatings for temperature reduction in houses and constructed several solar energy devices and gadgets. She has also written some books, chapters in books, and several published many articles in both international and national journals. Professor Okuchalu has a total of about 30 publications to her credit. She is also a speaker in conferences, workshops, seminars, short courses, and so on. She also belongs to the following bodies: International Solar Energy Society, ISES, World Energy Council, Nigerian Chapter, American Solar Energy Society, Meteorological Society of Nigeria, Nigeria Institute of Physics, Physics Writer Series, Renewable Alternative Energy Society of Nigeria, Women in Energy Association of Nigeria, Women in Physics, Nigeria Association of Women in Academics. Professor Okuchalu has occupied several positions and has served on several university and national bodies as SP, which include former speaker, former special advisor, special duty science and technology to Rivers State Governor, Deputy Provost, College of Natural and Applied Sciences, member Senate Committee on Niger Delta Studies, member Senate Committee on Infrastructural Development, Chairman College Examination Council, Chairman Finance and Development Committee of Faculty of Physical Science and Information Technology, Chairman Physics Departmental Welfare Committee, member University Examination and Practices Committee, coordinator Faculty Community Service, member Basic Studies Board, member University Certificate Racket Committee, Treasurer / Financial Secretary, Nigerian Institute of Physics, Financial Secretary, Solar Energy Society of Nigeria, members Mothers Union, Women's Guide of the African Communion, visiting professor and adjunct professor at various times in the Rivers State University of Science and Technology. The last but not the least, I will also reach an award and honor. She is a fellow Nigerian Institute of Physics, fellow Solar Energy Society of Nigeria, consultant, editor American Biography Institute, listed in Contemporary Who is American Biography Institute, long service award by the University of Port Harcourt. Please let us join our hands together to welcome our professor, Professor Charity Okuchalu. She shall be talking to us on the topic that says ensuring female interest in physics and science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Let me stand on the existing protocol, but I would like to greet my coordinator of Women in Physics and the chairman of this occasion. Okay, all other protocols duly observed. Advancing or enhancing women and girls' interest in STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, the role of self and society. Time permitting, table of content, introduction, women in STEM fields, factors that affect girls and women, interest in STEM courses, personal characteristics, self, society and societal framework, that's the society. How to increase girls' interest in STEM fields. Number 4, and then carrying out programs to ensure students' interest in STEM. Finally, we will conclude. It's a long paper, but I'll try as much as I can. Well, by the name STEM, we know what is involved: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And my emphasis most of the time is on physics, because we are physicists. It's also widely talked about as physical, biological, chemical, agricultural sciences, computer, information sciences and technology, engineering and engineering technologies, and mathematics. It is actually defined as a new meta-discipline that combines science, technology, engineering, and mathematics subject areas. STEM fields, we all know, in the sciences, physics, chemistry, biology, agri, in technology, computer information system, computer development and design, engineering, chemical engineering, civil, computer, and all that, mathematics and statistics. So from this, we find that STEM fields comprise all these areas: physical sciences, chemical sciences, biological sciences, botany, that include botany and all that, agri and calculus, computing, STEM education. Before we look at, what we are here for, how to advance, let's talk about STEM education, which is a course related to these disciplines that we have said. But each of these categories produces many areas: scientific literacy, the ability to use scientific knowledge and process to understand the natural world. It also involves technological literacy. It produces engineering literacy and mathematical literacy. That means all pupils must be equipped with the knowledge, skills, and aptitudes required to engage purposefully with the science-related issues they will encounter as individuals and as citizens in a society increasingly shaped by scientific and technological advancement. You can agree with me that the world is shaped by technological advancements in the area of STEM. If we don't make our children, our pupils, to understand this, they will find it increasingly difficult to cope with the things that are coming up in the world. We also look at, STEM education as bringing engineering and mathematical cultural achievements that reflect people's humanity, power, economy, and it constitutes the entire populace of any nation or of any society. We are moving next to talk about the importance, or why do we need STEM education? Why do we need that? STEM education is important because science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are vital to any nation's future, because they catalyze its development as modern economy, support public policies for health, well-being, environmental sustainability, just as the chairman LOC was telling us, and contribute to its intellectual vitality. STEM education must, start from early development. And in fact, preschool, it is advocated that STEM education must start in preschool and to be built upon in the primary and post-primary education until they get to the tertiary education. And this must be followed by introducing them to STEM in society, which is concerned with equipping the public with sufficient knowledge and understanding of issues related to STEM, so that they are able to make informed judgments to the many technological problems we are facing. But we find that there is a problem in this STEM education. There is something that is called the leaking pipeline, STEM education leaking pipeline. This is, describing the declining interest in an uptake of STEM subjects in the later years of primary school, which goes to the post-primary and then to tertiary education. You find that many people, they start well, trying to be involved in STEM, but at the end, towards the end of the primary school, some people just chicken out and say, no, we cannot go science, we must go the arts. And then in secondary school, you find that you have more art students, and then when you go to the tertiary institution, it is worse. So there is a pipeline, that is leaking, a pipeline that is leaking. So at the end, and this is more felt among women, more felt among girls and women, and that is why we are looking at, this issue. So women, number 2, is women in STEM fields. What is it that used to be? What used to be is that in the farther off years, you hardly find women. If you held this conference maybe about 20 years ago, you may not even find just one female professor, may not, in the whole country. If you held this conference 40 years ago, of course, you may not even find even one female with doctorate degree in physics. That is what used to be, because there is lack of women in the sciences, especially in physics. But today, women are better off. As we can see, we have a lot of professors on the high table, and not all of them are even here in Nigeria alone. It's not that we are doing great, but at least there is an improvement. We want a better future, whereby we will have more female professors in physics and in science and technology generally. And we know that even in STEM fields, there is, a graded involvement or belonging, because the biological sciences, the life sciences attract more women into them. So their pipeline is not as leaky as it is in physics and engineering. And that is why the physics case is very, very pathetic and very serious. And as our coordinator said, a cry has been raised. A cry has been raised so that we can, do something about it. And that is why we are here, gathering ourselves together so that we can coordinate and move forward. Then we go to factors that affect girls and women's interest in STEM courses and career. We have talked about the leaking pipeline, then why this pipeline? Why is the pipeline leaking? Why is it that people start off initially to aspire to do physics, but along the line, especially girls and women, they chicken out, they drop out. Why? There are a lot of factors, and I have put them into one, issue of self, and the other one, issue of society. As women, as girls, what are we doing? And also, what can we do to ensure that there is flow and not leakage? We need a flow at the end of the pipeline. We don't need a leakage. Even as our chairman said, that this one is for men, this field is for women. I remember when I was in secondary school, and I was almost, in fact, our school is such that they do the result from 8 to 35. 8 to 35, after every exam, goes into A class. The other one to 70 B class, and so on. And I would find myself the only girl in the A class. And so through secondary school, I was the only girl in my class. Through the university, I was the only girl. And boys will always ask me, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you, this is a male-dominated, so that is what really affects, society has, designated that this and that is for women. Women should go and do the arts. Women should go and do the marketing. The men, they are the ones that should do science and technology. And it shows up in many ways. They will tell you that these, sciences are, especially physics, women are more fitted and more built to do that. In fact, they will tell you that the brain is also, the women brain cannot carry, that kind of stuff. But I thank God that the many professors in physics sitting behind me, have proved wrong that notion that women are not suited. Women are very much suited, qualified. In fact, much, much better, even at times, than the men, even in physics. We are in the same class with them. We have been in the same class with them. I have been in the same class with only the men. Through secondary school, through first degree, through masters, and Dr. Akinyemi knows, I was the only girl in my class in the masters at UI. As for PhD, you don't talk about it. But